Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. All right, Hobby King sent me out the VIPER 64 for review and gave me a pair of 3S 2200, their new shorty lipos in series, and I'm going to run, it runs on 6S, so they're in series together to make them both 6S. We're going to take the VIPER up and we're going to do the maiden flight. If y'all watch the unboxing and build. And this is the maiden flight. I'm going to take off in my high rates and in manual mode to get her trimmed, and then we'll switch to AS3X. Right, left, up, down, right, left. All right. Get over here and block the plane. Does have thrust reverse. All right. I say this is the maiden flight.
Takeoff flaps.
Now, the rates and everything.
Timer reset.
I kind of looked at the setup guide, but I basically did them fat guy style. All right.
Up.
Need a little bit of up trim.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
All right, CG is good.
AS3X mode.
Still need a little bit of right aileron. Like I said, I'm just getting her trimmed out, but it's kind of windy today too, so that makes it hard. All right, let me check my flap settings.
Takeoff flaps. Landing flap. Time flaps up. Landing flaps. Flaps up.
Got a great sound to her. All right. Don't need any elevator. Let's see how she's going to land. All right. It is windy.
Takeoff flaps. Landing flaps.
All right.
Flaps up.
She has a little bit of out of trim, but not too bad. All right, take off again. One more time, then we'll check the batteries. Great sound.
20 seconds.
Give a nice low pass here.
Landing flaps. Timer expired.
All right.
Braking.
Did,
Cruise mode. Flaps up.
didn't even need the takeoff flaps. Hey, here we are. I hit the brake too soon.
Braking. Cruise mode.
All right, if you hit brake too soon, you don't give time for the ESC to switch over. Get out there, let me see. All right.
Jets are cool.
All right, we were 20 seconds over on a 3.5 minute timer. I try to set my jets at 3.5 minutes for the first time because to be conservative. Real quick, let me show you CG since we're here. CG is 70 to 80 millimeters back from the leading edge root, which puts it basically right on that line of green tape. So that puts her pretty much level. This green is so bright that looking at pictures and videos, that doesn't do it justice. This green is almost like it's lit up green. I mean, it is super, super bright. So great for orientation. And of course, the silver is quite, latch is kind of sticky. Might want to put a little grease or something on that, but not put like silicone water or silicone base. Don't put oil-based grease on there. All right. First battery's at 47%. Second battery is at 46%. So really, 4.5 minutes, fly conservatively. 4 minutes, fly the way you want. Okay. Now to show you where I have both of those Turnigy packs, these are Turnigy 2200 3S's. They have a 30C, and you can see basically at the strap is adjustable, okay? And if you pull the strap all the way to the beginning and then put both of those little Turnigy 2200s, their little shorty batteries they're selling now, in the dead center of that strap, you'll get your CG perfect right there. Now you will need to provide a series adapter. They don't provide that. You can get, I'll give you a link to my Amazon purchase, not my store, it's just where I bought on Amazon. I got 2 of them for like, I think $9. So, you know, hey, you'll need that. And that way you can use your 2200 packs. All right, we're going to switch it around a little bit. We'll come back and get you another flight here in just a minute. May get us a speed run, see how fast this little booger can go. All right, we'll be right back. Hi folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. All right, second flight ever with the HOBBYKING VIPER 64. Got the GNS performance analyzer there. We're gonna get a speed run. Now I've got to put a 2700 6S all the way back, China Hobby, and she's still slightly nose heavy, but that's okay. But we're gonna get her up, and I got the gear on, so it'll go faster without the gear. But we're gonna try it. Timer's now set for 4 minutes and 15 seconds because I got a larger battery. And on the Maiden with the 2200s, I discovered that 4 minutes would be just fine. All right.
Takeoff flaps.
All right. Here we go.
Time remaining 4 minutes. Flaps up.
All right, I'm going to take it up. All right, we're going to prime down here. Full speed now. All right, that should give my speed run.
Landing flaps. Take flaps up. Landing flaps.
Well, I can definitely see that green. A little bouncy bounce, but that's okay. We'll take it.
Flaps up. Time remaining 3 minutes.
All right, let's check our speed. I'm thinking about 80 mile an hour. $82 mile an hour. All right. And make sure we're reading. And we are. Now we're going to do a hard dive. I know that's not performance, but I just want to see how fast I can make this little guy go. Try to get over 90. And it is a heavier battery than what it calls for. So more than likely, if I was to put the 2200s in there, probably could get well over 100 mile an hour, or pretty close to it. All right. Here we go. I'm not going to use takeoff flaps this time. Bounce into the air. All right, I'm going to take it down here. I'm going to take it up. Hard dive. Full speed. All right, that should definitely give me my speed run. Take it up again. Oh, what a great flying little 64. It's a great sounding plane
Time
too.
remaining 2 minutes.
There we go. I do much better when I land from the west, and that's because down that other third of that whole runway down there on the east all has an incline, and it messes with my depth perception.
Jets are cool.
And I know, wah, 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 right? All right. See how fast we got her that time. Well, a little bit faster, 84 mile an hour, 84. All right, I'm sure if I had lighter packs and the gear not on, then we could definitely get a lot faster. Let's go ahead and take the GNS Performance Analyzer out of there. I just got it sitting in there.
Takeoff flaps.
Okay. All right. And let's finish our flight. Just so you know, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I'm running an AR630 antennaless spectrum receiver, which works great in this. All right.
Hot, be careful. Flaps up.
Okay, let's finish our flight. I'm hoping the sound of this jet comes out on the on video. It's got a great sound for a 64. It really does. All right.
Takeoff flaps. Flaps up.
It is kind of windy today, so that does. There. Hardly any elevator down, elevator needed to maintain inverted.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Sorry. All right, we're going to take it up now. Yeah. It'll snap roll pretty good. Probably do better if I had the lighter packs in it. I like this little 64. Boy, she sounds so good. Sounds mean.
30 seconds.
All right.
Seconds.
Well, made most of that bounce.
10. Landing flaps. Timer expired. Braking. Cruise mode. Flaps up.
All right. Not the best landing in the world. Honey, pan over and look at the cameras off to our left here. Or look at the flags. Tell what we're dealing with here. All right. That's a great flying little 64. I tell you what, I can imagine how nice it would be on a calm day. Looks good, flies good.
Braking. Cruise mode.
All right.
Jets are cool.
We were 25. Hold on. All right, 25 seconds over on a 4-minute and 15-second timer. So 4 minutes and 35 seconds, if that's how the math works. So we're approaching that 5-minute mark, which is a great benchmark for a jet, for any EDF. %. So 4 minutes and 14 seconds, land at the 4-minute mark, give yourself that 15 seconds in case you have to do a go around, and you'll still come back good. And that is with a 2700 China Hobby with a 40C, but all the way back. I mean, this is 2200 maybe, or 2200 is probably the biggest that they say put in this thing, but I got a 2700, and she's still, I know the canopy's off, still CG's kind of slightly nose, I'll get the wind here, slightly nose heavy, but with the wind, slightly nose heavy is fine. 2700, got an AR-630 on that little shelf there. Great flying little 64 Hobby King, I gotta tell you. I am impressed with this little plane. I don't like this, when you put the nose gear on, make sure that you have push down on that tiller arm, there's a flat spot. Make sure your grub screw goes into that flat spot. Otherwise, you won't have good, it'll strip out on you. It's got to be on that flat spot where the grub screw adheres to it. The other side, there's not a flat spot. There's just on the one side. So the one side of this grub screw goes into that flat spot. So you just kind of have to feel for it. You'll know when it's there, but it'll be nice and secure. Gears, the wheels are very hard. I would suggest, I don't know if it's got a cotter pin or what, but you might be able to change these out for some low bounce tires. These are 2 inch and these are 1.75 inch. Our winds today are 12 mile an hour out of the southwest, and this is an east-west runway. So a little bit of a cross breeze, not too bad. This plane don't weigh nothing either, so wind is definitely a factor. I love the contrasting colors between the silver and the green. Really show, and in the sunlight hitting it, it really looks good. All right, well, there you go, folks. We got you 2 flights. The Maiden, trimmed her out. I'll meet you back in the man cave. We'll go over my AS3X settings, my flap settings. I do think I need to have a little, I do have a little bit of down elevator mix for my flaps, and I think I need to take that out because she was wanting to dive a little bit on me with my flaps. I really didn't read the setup guide. That's my fault on the flaps. I just kind of guessed the flap settings, but I do like my rates, and we'll go over all that in the man cave. All right, folks, we'll see you back there. God bless you. See you back in the man cave, and God is good. Bye-bye. The Maiden in, we got a speed trial in the VIPER 64 from Hobby King. Hobby King, thank you for sending the plane out for review. Thank you for the batteries for review. What they sent me besides the plane was also a pair of their Turnigy, they're in the plane right now, the Turnigy 2200 3S's, they're new shorty little batteries. They're compact and they got a 30C discharge. Now you will have, if you want to use them in series to get 6S, because this is a 6S bird, you'll have to purchase your own series connector, which I'll put a link to where I bought mine on Amazon for you. All right, now let's go over the plane. Number one, talk about CG. CG on the plane is 70 to 80 millimeters back from the leading edge root, and that's always where the wing touches the fuse, which puts it right on this line of tape, with 70 being at the edge of the tape, 80 being the very back edge of the tape. So if you put your fingers right on the middle of that tape, where I got those batteries, CG pretty perfect right there. And to show you again, if you take your straps, and I actually could move that strap back some, but that strap is at the very end of the opening where the strap goes, and I got the batteries at the end. Now the strap is a little long, but they fit in there pretty tight, and I'm not worried they're not coming out. Got an AR630 up there, up on that shelf there. So, and that's just a perfect play, just screams for a receiver. All right. Good flying, stable little plane. Let's talk about the actual plane rates that I flew in. I flew in my high rates the entire time. Right off the bat, I flew her in manual mode, and with no stabilization or anything whatsoever. And my plane rates that I flew in: aileron 100%, 30% expo; elevator 100%, 30% expo, and rudder 100%, but with 50% expo to help with steering. Okay. Now I did use flaps, and I noticed, because I really didn't, I'll be honest, I didn't read the quick startup guide on the flap settings. I just kind of guessed at them for myself, and it does not need a flapped elevator mix that I could tell. I put in for Spectrum, for takeoff flaps, I put in -50 with a 5% down elevator, and then for landing a -100 with a 15% down elevator. And with both of those mixes, she wanted to dive on me. So but not very bad, just a little bit. So I'm thinking the plane does not need any flapped elevator mix at all. Okay, let's go over our AS3X settings. My gains are at one-time gains. Okay. My gains
AST.
that I flew in for roll, I have 40%, for pitch 50%, and yaw 50%. My priorities are all set at 100 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Okay. Gain sensitivity at 1. Didn't do anything with heading. And with this particular AR6330, I don't have it upgraded to the latest version, so I don't have stop, lock, and release rate available. So, but I usually, if I do have stop lock, I bump that up to 50, or from the 35 to the 50 on jets on roll, pitch, and yaw. But that's not available to me right now. Okay, don't have the nose wheel gyro. I use the gear channel for my reverse thrust, because you don't have retract. So channel 5 or aux 1 became my reverse thrust. Now all you do is you plug that in to show you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but on Spectrum you got channel 1 is throttle, channel 2 is aileron, channel 3 is elevator, channel 4 is rudder, channel 5 would normally be gear, but in this case, that's where I plugged in my reverse thrust, and I assigned it to my bind switch, a momentary switch, and then channel 6 is for my flaps. Okay. Plane flies really good. What I don't like about the plane is the connection point for the front rudder. You really have to kind of fish at that to try to get that flat spot in there, and it's a kind of a weaker connection, but it's not a heavy duty plane. I mean, this plane is not super heavy, so this is more than sufficient. I do think they should have a little more beefier of a connection then for the front nose gear. But other than that, the color, what I love about the plane, the color is great. The contrast between the silver and the green are great for orientation. She's plenty quick. I had her up to, I think, 84 in a hard dive and 83 or 82 straight and level. So that's pretty quick for this small of an object. I would like to have seen a pilot, but that's not that big of a deal. I can always, there is provisions for a pilot. There's 2 holes in the canopies on an underside that you could take the canopy off, unglue it, put some unbonder on there or debonder, take it off, put you a pilot, and then glue that back on the hatch. Nice clear canopy for FPV. There's good cooling for that canopy so that it won't gator on you. There's a nice instrumentation on the dashboard there. It is all foam hinges. However, they have laminate reinforcement, so that's good. And this is not a heavy plane, so that's fine. If this was a faster, heavier plane, then I would say, and if I was, extreme throws, then I maybe say, mechanical hinges would have been better. But that's fine for this. I like the fact that they have plastic back here on this exhaust, because whenever you don't have a battery in the plane, you set it down, it's going to rock back on that exhaust, and that's plastic, so that'll catch that. She's a good looking plane, simple flying plane, but like all Vipers, you saw in my videos, had a couple of bounces. Whenever you come in, you bring her in, you nose her down, and then you come in straight and level, and then right before you land, you just evermost slight bit of flare and try to hold off that landing as long as possible, otherwise you'll get that bounce. Now, as far as the flights go, yes, I established trim. She needed a little bit of right aileron and a little bit of down elevator, or can't remember now if it was up elevator or down elevator, but a little bit of elevator trim, a little bit of right aileron. But other than that, she was trimmed out from the push rods were fine. Things I didn't cover in the 2 flights I had. I was kind of pushed for time. So I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. I wanted to do a 3rd flight. I did establish that really I don't think it needs a flapped elevator mix. And I know that my CG was fine. I have a couple of inverted flights, and I know that where I showed you put the batteries, the CG is fine there. And I proved that by inverted flight. So those things I was able to accomplish. She's plenty quick. She's very stable. And it was very windy today. It was like anywhere from 10 to 15 out of the southwest. And our field runs our runways east to west. So I had a little bit of cross breeze, but she handled and it was gusty in different directions too. It was kind of crazy today. But she handled it just fine. The color is a huge help, great help for orientation. That's a big win. I would love to see lights. I would love to see a stronger landing gear in the nose. But other than that, I mean, those are all, none of that is deal breakers. She's plenty quick for the size. She flies really stable. She's a good looking plane. I just need to get her out and get some more testing in. And I would like to have seen plastic around this inlet here, because this is wear points, and I'd like to see some sort of protection on the underside of these wings. But you know, then again, these are all nitpicky things. This is not a $300 jet. Okay, I want to say she's anywhere from, I saw her on sale at one point for $139, and I think the normal price is $199. So if you're just patient with Hobby King, they run these sales all the time, and you can catch it much cheaper and get you a couple of very economical 3Ss. I did run her with a 2700 6S, and she was kind of piggish, and that's what I did the speed runs in. I think if I was to get a lighter battery or maybe like two 1800 6Ss in there and get her up and dive, I might be able to get up over 100 miles an hour. Probably definitely with the gear off. But there again, if you're wanting to fly with the gear, I would like to have seen covers over these right here because of belly landing. But there again, you know, you do have the gear you can use. These wheels are a little hard, but they're very stout. And I can see grass hops not being a problem because she stands off the ground pretty well, pretty good. So all in all, I'll give the plane a good 8.5 out of 10, honestly. And my scale I just came up with. Good value, good looking plane, plenty quick. Definitely could be your first ADF for sure. If you put a nice gyroed receiver in there and have a little bit of help from someone, definitely could be your first EDF. Hobby King, I think you got a good plane here. I'm very impressed with it. I love the color. I think that's my favorite thing, is how well this thing shows up in the sky. And it flies just as good as it looks. It really does. Flies really well. And it's got a great sound too, man. It's got such a deep, throaty sound for a little 64. Sounds like a turbine sound. So I'm very impressed with it. Hobby King, thank you so much for sending it out. God bless each and one of my viewers. This is a great little plane. I do recommend it. There'll be a link in the description of the video. It's an affiliate link. Buy it from me, buy it from someone else. That doesn't really matter to me, but I do recommend the plane. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless each and every one of y'all. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends, God is good, and VIPER is from Hobby King. Bye-bye.